Y'all ready to be history?
Get started.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
To the Pro Audio Suite.
These guys are professional. They're motivated.
With Tech to the VO stars. George Whittam, founder of Source Elements. Robert Marshall, international audio engineer. Darren Robbo Robertson and Global Voice. Andrew Peters, thanks to Tribooth. Austrian Audio, making passion heard. Source Elements. George the Tech Whittam. And Robbo and AP's international demos. To find out more about us, check theproaudiosuite.com.
Line up, ladies!
Here we go.
And welcome to another Pro Audio Suite, thanks to Austrian Audio, making passion heard. Today we're talking about in-ears or not in-ears.
Yeah, so...
To in-ear or not to in-ear.
Yeah, so, okay, let's first talk about why anybody would consider in-ear monitors in a voiceover booth context.
Or super duper duper isolation.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And they also tend to, like, if you get good in-ears, they are usually very good headphones. They sound very good, I think.
And also open back headphones. We should chuck that in the mix as well.
Ooh.
The literal opposite of in-ears.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other end of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so who needs maximum ear bleed? Not ear bleed.
Protection.
Bleed protection. So you're trying
Yeah.
to keep the mic from picking up the bleed of your own voice or somebody else's voice or whatever. For who is it a problem? I was chatting with a fellow that I met at Get Out of Your Booth conference. His name's AJ DeLong. Happens to work at Sweetwater, and he's been demoing a bunch of IEMs from Ultimate Ears in his case. And he said the reason I want IEMs is for when I'm doing Walla sessions.
I can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
So why would maximum isolation be very beneficial for doing Walla?
What's
Well, you got
Walla?
a whole bunch of other people doing
Because you have
stuff, yeah.
multiple people that are being recorded at the same time.
Like bar backgrounds and all that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
So
While
that
they're in
will
there.
ruin the recording. The only time you really need good isolation is Walla or radio interviews, because that's when you're echoing back through the headphone bleed will actually ruin the recording on the other side. That's what I was saying before, that like in a voiceover session,
Or podcasting?
it's courteous, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice, it's courteous, it's good to have good isolation. But ultimately, when you're doing the voiceover take, everyone should be off their mic. You won't be hearing them back. If they hear you, or if they hear themselves back a little bit and ghosting in the background saying read it faster with a smile, it's not going to destroy the session, except for the most picky clients who, whatever, like it's not going to stop the session. But Walla, a radio interview where that's getting into the other end's recording, now you got a problem.
I also think you've got a problem, and I think you've also talked about this before, Robert, where you've had to do a pickup and the person has worked to music with their headphones too loud.
Yes,
And then
that's
all
a
of a
problem.
sudden you're moving you had to
Yeah.
cut a piece of dialogue into another spot, and then the music doesn't work because it's bleeding into the wrong
That-
spot.
Into the wrong
that
spot.
is a problem, yeah, because again, something is getting, anytime anything's going to get into the recording from your open back headphones or leaky headphones, that's going to cause a problem for the recording. So if you can make the assumption that when you're performing, nothing is coming into your headphones except for your own monitoring,
Yeah.
not, like that's not going to cause that much of a problem. Technically, that is actually another extra source of audio getting into the mic, but at least it's the same thing. Yeah.
But also, I tip, which is something I do, whether anybody wants to listen to any of my tips, it's fine. But people will say, oh, do you want to do this to the music bed?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, just play me the music bed so I can hear it and get it in my head, and then don't turn it on while I'm reading.
Mhm.
So I know the vibe of what we're reading to.
Do you find it distracting to read to it, or do you
I don't
just
like it. I don't like
yeah,
it.
see, some people do. That's the funny. Well, it's not funny. I mean, it's all personal taste. But there are people who would prefer to hear it. If you've got it, I'd love to hear it. Is their words?
Yeah.
Or there are others who go like you, just go, oh, can I just hear it, and then that'll do.
I think sometimes even when they say it doesn't change their read, it does change their read, and it puts energy in it, and it's a subtle thing.
I think it changes the read,
I
but
think so,
but if it's
yeah.
someone who doesn't want to hear it, it can also change it in a bad way
Yeah.
because they're struggling with it. So I think you've got to go with the flow on that.
I've never
unfortunately.
really had someone who doesn't like actually just altogether get a better read from reading with music. Actually, funny enough.
I don't disagree with you, but unless I kind of still feel unless you're forcing them to, unless they're like AP, like
Yeah,
you know,
I never make
kind
them,
of
but
Yeah.
It's usually
yeah. But no, if you can get them to read to it, all the better. Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah, I see. I'm not 100% about that because I think it does change the way you read if you're reading with music underneath.
But don't you think it changes the read for the better though? Because you've got a feel for what's going on, and you sort of you can get in tempo with the music and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but it depends what you're doing.
There's a
though.
subtle thing where even the pacing of the words hits
Fit, yeah,
with the music, and the energy ramps in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's
Well, doesn't the
it's
music
it's
have to be in sync then? It's like whatever you're singing over, it's got to be synced to
no,
the
because
actual.
it's still like synced. It's like, okay, if you're syncopated or if you're on beat or off beat, you're still in time. There's still like a correlation that happens.
Yeah. It's like if you take a cappella vocal, you can still slide it around to fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
something else.
But the thing about the music is, see, I don't want to read to music. It just changes really changes the delivery. And if the script is written properly, you know exactly where the points are where you actually, step it up or step it back or slow it down or speed it up or whatever.
So maybe if the script is not the best writing, maybe the music will push
But the music's
you.
probably going to be shit too.
Look,
so.
I mean, I used to back in Triple M days. There were times when I used to get the station voice to promos I'd already built beds for.
Yes, I get that.
Because I knew his voice so well that I could, basically read it myself and get a basic, really, reasonably close idea of the timing that he would need for stuff. And so I would build promos and get the station voice to read to that.
I mean, I used to read to pictures and music or sound when, well, the last one I really did it for was when I was the voice of L'Oréal Paris. And that was always to pictures because you always had like some celebrity head delivering lines and whatever, and there was music and there was also a lot of captions, what do you call it?
Titles and all that sort of stuff.
So they'd be popping up with all these sort of weird sort of things. So you, obviously that's where you've got to get your timing right. So you need to have the backing track for that. But if it's just a straight read, I don't want to hear it.
I would have thought trying to read to picture would be a little more distracting than trying to read to music because you're trying to do something visually at the same, and you're trying to read a script and keep an eye on the picture at the same time you're trying to read. Whereas with audio, the music just runs in the background.
Yeah, but I never used to do that. What I do, we do a run through, so I would read watching the pictures,
and get the timing,
and I get the audio cues in my head, and then I wouldn't look at the screen anymore.
Yeah. It's funny, we've spoken about it before, DSP, the editor that I used to use at George Pat's, which was sort of the first real digital sort of editing I ever did, it had this thing where you could put a point on your timeline and it would superimpose on the video in the booth. And so it would give like a 3, 2, 1 and then a cross when the voice had to come in and all that sort of stuff. So it was like a visual cue on the picture as well. That was always really clever.
Yeah.
So it was an audio editor, but with a video component.
Yeah, it had a little video output
like
thing
a
that you could.
ADR cuer thing to it.
Yeah, and that's all it did. You couldn't play picture out of it or anything, obviously, but it would put out this signal that you could mix into your video chain so that the voice artist had a hard in cue. And I think you could also set.
I always just hooked up like electrodes to the voiceover talent, and we're just like
electrodes,
little 12 volts, go.
I'd always put a little pip on a separate track so they'd get a pip in their head, when they had to come in and all that sort of shit too.
Yep.
But going back to headphone bleed, I have to tell this story because I'm kind of a little bit proud of it. I'll be honest. I actually had headphone bleed save this podcast last week.
Oh God!
We did. For those who listen regularly,
this episode brought to you by Waves and New Gen.
Yeah. Well, we did a Waves ReGen episode, and for anyone who was listening,
Waves, we're gonna
they'll
start
probably
charging
know
you
that
guys.
Robert was at his mum's place recording on her crappy old iMac. So I got Robert's audio from the episode and there was all these dropouts, most of which I could edit around, but there was one where, as usual, Robert dropped some gem and the whole conversation completely changed direction. And so I needed that audio. And long story short, I was going to get AP. I picked up the phone to ring AP and he was at the gym or something. And so I left him a message saying, call me back. I need you to record something for this. And while I was sitting there, I realized in my headphones, there was bleed of what Robert had said. So I grabbed it, gained it up as much as I could in Pro Tools and thought, that's probably still not loud enough. So I stuck it through a compressor, no compression, but just to get some more gain out of it. Chucked it into ReGen and regened it and dropped it into the episode. And I don't think anyone is yet to pick
I'm
the
not
line
going to
that I did
travel
it
with a
on.
mic anymore.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm just-
Robert
that's
can
it.
just talk into any crappy old mic,
I'm just
and I'll
gonna,
just get
I'm
a
just going to
headphone
yell
for
at you from here, and hopefully it echoes down to Australia.
Look,
You'll be like,
I should qualify it as saying that I think there was about 13 seconds of audio, and it was pretty obvious in places that it really wasn't Robert. The AI had struggled, so I managed to cut it down to 5 seconds and just slip it in there. I mean, I don't think it's going to save you if you lose a whole interview or a whole one side of an interview or something.
That's your
Don't worry,
slogan
Robbo,
now, right,
we will
Robbo?
find out one day.
Sorry,
your
mate?
Your
said
slogan
one-
should be just slip it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just slip it in there.
Just be careful where you say it.
I actually think as much as I'm sort of anti-AI, I actually think I found one use for it.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'll allow you to find the limits.
Well, I know AI
Thank you,
always
Robert.
finds a way to slip into episodes, but we're all trying to
It just
figure out
is.
the limits of what we
Yeah,
what we
exactly.
think is
Well, the complete
acceptable.
irony, of course, was that it was an episode about ReGen that it was on. That sort of completed the circle.
Yeah.
So try this out for a second. A setup I want to do.
Here we go again.
I like having my talkback set to auto. So when I hit stop in Pro Tools,
Mhm.
and Nexus Gateway's got echo cancellation, so that's not a problem. But the talent on Source Connect, there's no echo cancellation. So then when they want to, they hear themselves. But I don't want to
Yeah.
give up the auto talkback switch. So here's what I'm
Right.
thinking of doing. I'm going to take my monitor and I'm going to put it right at my left ear or a little bit to the side. And then I'm going to get it. And I'm going to put that monitor straight into the side of that figure 8 microphone so that I talk into it, they hear me, but when it goes right into the side of that figure 8, gets and no echo. I think it'll work.
For your chance to win, Source Connect for the rest of your life, just fill in the missing words with Robert's little banter.
It's like a freaking game show.
So none of that made it through.
You know that bit on Jimmy Kimmel? Or no, Jimmy Fallon. No, Jimmy Kimmel. It's called Unnecessary Censorship. Have you ever seen that bit?
Fuck.
They take...
Yeah, the only thing we
that's
heard just then was
the
fuck.
only
We haven't
word
heard
that
anything
came
else.
through was fuck. No, but the whole shtick is that it's like they take stuff right out of the news, with politicians, and then they just bleep a random word, in their phrase, it's just
No,
hilarious.
it's not
but-
random. They picked the right word to make it sound
no,
like
they pick a
said
word
something.
so it's very clear that it sounds like they would have been saying fuck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they're not saying fuck. But that's exactly what
So
just happened
is it
to you,
just
Robert.
when I speak that it fucks up? Like right now I'm okay, but as soon as I actually go to say something that is meant to be heard, it's
Yeah,
gonna
as soon
fuck
as
up?
you
Is that-
start, as soon as you start thinking while talking, it starts muting your signal.
Do you know
So
what
I think
it is?
it's your fault.
I think it's the tinfoil hat he's wearing. I think it's affecting the
Yeah.
microphone and the
Okay,
reception.
we'll try it one more time. Maybe it's working now. I want to talk to my clients using the auto talkback switch in Pro Tools and mute on so that when I hit stop in Pro Tools, my microphone opens.
Mhm.
My clients don't hear an echo of themselves because Nexus Suite has echo cancellation. But the talent on Source Connect, they hear an echo of themselves because Source Connect's just a wide open, no, it's pure.
Right.
So my thought is I'm going to take my whole monitor and make it one speaker, and I'm going to put it side firing, and I'm going to make my talkback mic a ribbon microphone. I'm going to point the null of that figure 8 right at that speaker. So when the talent talks out the speaker and it goes into the figure 8, it's completely canceled out. I can talk into the mic and it'll hear me, but the talent coming back will be phased out because of the two lobes of the figure 8.
The
And
Beatles
now I can have
technique.
an open mic, just like the Beatles used to do backing vocals without headphones.
Right.
Mhm.
But the room has to be dead though for that to work. Like it's got to
very
be dead.
dead.
It can't have
Yeah,
any-
you're right.
any reverb.
And that won't work in my apartment, in my place.
Doesn't work in any recording we've ever done in 10 years,
Yeah,
Robert.
yeah, exactly.
I can tell you that for sure.
I think the key is probably in-ears.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be on. No, not for.
In-ears are not for everybody. I can tell you. I have a pair, and maybe I have the in-ear. I have the custom mold ones too, and they're just eventually make me fucking crazy. I just
they do. They get really annoying.
I think it's because my ears.
I don't mind the in-ears, but there's a point in time where they can create a certain level of nauseousness because they block out so much. And I was going to say that's one of the things about in-ears is if you do in-ears, you really need to use the monitor latency or the self-monitoring of your interface because you're going to only hear your voice in your head.
Yeah, you'll occlude your ability to hear your own voice.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I think the total opposite of IEMs is the way to go. And that is a completely open earphone.
So that you hear yourself acoustically properly.
So you hear yourself acoustically properly. And if you want to do some inline editing or punch and roll or something, you can hear your voice clearly, but you can still hear the cues, the pre-rolls, etc. And they don't occlude your ears at all. Like there's these really, really cheap Koss brand clip-on earphones. They're little foamies. They look like
the old ones from the 80s.
Yeah, 80s or 90s cheap headphones, right? And these don't even have a headband.
I got a pair of those.
And these just clip onto the ear. They don't look like they'd be that comfortable, but they sound good. They just do.
Actually, no, I've got the other ones. I've got the ones that look like they came out of an 80s Walkman.
But they have yours has a headband, right? A metal headband?
Correct.
And,
yeah,
and it has a control. Does it have the light, medium, hard switch to control the ear pressure? Yeah, they even have a pair where you can adjust the pressure of the ear pad on your ear with a little sliding lever. Very clever. Really interesting headphones.
Yeah.
But sometimes not occluding your hearing and going completely open would be the way to go, right? If you're not doing Walla, which is 99.99% of what you guys in voiceover are doing. Most of you are not doing Walla, right?
Yeah.
Am I
correct.
wrong about that?
No, I think you're right because I didn't even know what it was.
It's a niche, a very niche voiceover.
It's like cross between ADR and Foley, I guess.
It's more like a Foley,
Foley.
more like a background sort of thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah,
it's a niche thing.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so yeah, do you need IEMs? Probably not. Do you want to use them for maximum isolation? If they don't bother you, go for it, and you don't have to spend more than $200. A biodynamic DT. Is Austrian Audio coming out with their IEMs anytime soon?
I haven't heard, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You'd be the first to know, AP.
Well, yeah, I must actually ask.
I'm not aware of them having
it's logical for them to do it because they have a lot of, obviously they're targeting musos, and I know they've got a lot of drummers that are using 818s as overheads and stuff, and they're different drum mics. So in-ears would be maybe a logical move.
Sure. I did see an interesting headphone, actually. I think that same gentleman, AJ, told me about. Have you ever heard of a brand called I? Like the letter
I would like to tell you this.
I love you very much. I think you're grand.
No, it's literally the brand. It's AI.audio is their website. They have a pair of headphones called the TMA series, not TMI, TMA. And they're totally modular. So they have replaceable ear bands, ear pads. The driver cups can be removed. So you can mix.
That's like the Fostex RPT 20s.
Well, there you go. See, these guys didn't invent the idea.
Like studio headphones that people can trash and then you can still buy all the parts.
That's another, well, yeah, that's true too. I mean, biodynamics, et cetera, you can buy all the parts. But this is like a mix and match thing where you can have all those things and you don't need a bunch of tools. They snap
like
together.
The Jeep Wrangler of headphones.
Yeah, well, yeah, like the cool thing is
the
headbands
headphones probably work.
Right. The headbands have the cord integrated into the headband. Right. So you can have just the headbands. I'm showing these guys on screen, but you can get just the headband and then there's a little cord for each ear cup. Right. And then each ear cup has a jack for the cord on it. So the cord can be on either ear cup, left or right, depending on what you want. And then you can put a larger ear pad, a smaller one, a velour ear pad.
Can you get one side big and the other side small?
You could. Yeah, why not? You could literally go one ear pad.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing is they don't have a one ear pad mode. You would think they would do that, but I guess you could just have one big ear pad and one small ear pad, and you don't plug the cord into the other ear pad.
Can you have one open back and one in ear?
That I haven't seen. I did have a really weird pair of headphones at one point that were both in ear and over the ear.
How is that? That's bizarre.
Yeah, they were really bizarre. I couldn't get used to putting on a pair of over the ear headphones that also felt like someone's fingers were jammed in your ears.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
I used to have a pair of underpants like that, but
Rock and roll.
No, that's not a
You wear your underpants on your head?
That's not a jack. That's a jack-C.
exactly.
Oh, God.
TRRs. Yeah.
TRASS.
Well, that was fun. Is it over?
The Pro Audio Suite, with thanks to Tribooth and Austrian Audio. Recorded using Source Connect. Edited by Andrew Peters and mixed by Robbo. Got your own audio issues? Just ask Robbo.com. With tech support from George the Tech Whittam. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and join in the conversation on our Facebook group. To leave a comment, suggest a topic, or just say g'day, drop us a note at our website, proaudiosuite.com.